Morning Bizzers. If you're here live, comment #live. If you're here for the replay, comment #replay. So today I want to talk about all alone. And I want to talk about what that means and what it does to you. So if you don't feel like having a somewhat sad thing, which I don't know, sometimes these things turn out super happy, but if you don't feel like that, then maybe this isn't the video for you today. There are times where you do things in your business that make you feel flat. I hope that you guys know what I mean. I am a kind of loud, big person. If you meet me in person, that's who I am. I always seem to bubble over. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. You know how I feel. It's obvious, angry, jubilant, but they're big things. But sometimes, even for me, there are days where I just feel flat, drained, empty. And I think that happens to all of us. And I think that when it happens is because we probably are doing something that is not in our area of genius. It's not something that brings us life, that makes us more us. You guys hear me say this all the time. I want you to be the most you that you can possibly be. And why I love what I do is because I get to be the most Elise that I ever am. But there are times where that's just not enough, and you have to step out and do something that you're not as comfortable with, that you're not as excited about, that you're not as good at. And I've essentially decided that this entire year is all about me doing those things that I'm not as good at. And what that means is that it does not make me bigger or make me more Elise. It means that I'm stepping into something that I am not comfortable in and that I am not good at. I almost didn't do this morning, but it's been suggested to me that the more transparent I am, the more that you guys will feel like I can understand where you are and you'll be able to relate to me more. So, I apparently can't people. It's a weakness I guess I've always had, but I never really thought about. And it's a weakness that is not the best when you're trying to build a business. And I know that there are some of you who you get almost mad at me because you need help figuring out how to do some aspect of your business. And I'm like, oh, just do this. And you get upset. And you're like, I just can't do that the way that you can. And this is one of those things for me. I just don't do it as well as some of you. Yesterday, I went to a huge event. It's an 8-hour-long event. 10 10-hour long event. I don't know. It starts at 10, it ends at 8. So that would be a 12-hour. No, 8, 10-hour event. I don't know why I can't think today. I'm actually really good at math. And it's all listening to people talk, being on camera, introducing yourself, saying who you are, what you do, talking to them, learning about their life, about their business, and helping them. Thank you, Melissa. And I can't do that. At the end of that, I feel like I want to just roll up into a ball and die. It's just too much. It's like the event that I went to in September where I literally hid behind a pole because I just couldn't take it anymore. It drains me. I just can't do it. And on that event, it was really funny. They had what they called a happy hour at the end where everybody got to talk about just themselves and connect. And everybody comes on and they each have an opportunity to share just about themselves. And I'm sitting there listening to them, and they're all talking about how excited they are to have these 10-hour-long events, just connecting with people and getting to know them. And how grateful they are that we have online and that even through COVID, they were still able to connect, and how they wouldn't have been able to survive if they didn't have this stuff. One lady even said that if she had been there for an outbreak in the 1800s, she would have just killed herself because she wouldn't have been able to deal with being by herself for that long. And all of these people are agreeing and talking about how that's them and how they completely get that. And I'm sitting there at the end of this 10-hour event thinking, I don't want to be here at all. I don't want to do this. I don't relate to you. I don't even understand what you're talking about. And so it made me feel really alone. Very alone. I was the only one that felt that way. It just didn't make sense. And person after person shared. And the leader of the group, of the thing, was calling people out to share. And the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, I don't want to share at all. Because I didn't want to be like Debbie Downer and be like, actually, I fucking hate this whole thing, excuse my language. I wish I never had to do this again, and I don't love this. Like, I didn't even know. Like, there was nothing, I couldn't think of anything positive to say. The whole time I'm sitting there thinking, you guys make me sick, I hate you all. And, she never called on me. They literally stayed on late. It was supposed to be an hour thing. It was an hour and a half to make sure that everyone could share, and she called on everybody so they could share. She never called on me. And I know it wasn't, I know that it wasn't intentional, and I know that it wasn't to hurt me or that she didn't think I was interesting or anything. It was none of those things. But it made me feel very alone. Even in a group, in a room of people that are supposed to be connecting with each other, I didn't relate to any of them. Not one. Which, considering that everybody talks about how business owners and entrepreneurs have a tendency to be introverted and all this stuff, I just thought was insane. How was it that everyone was there for 10 hours and felt so invigorated and I felt like a piece of paper? All right, so that's my story. You guys know I like to give you a story. Now I'm going to talk to you about what it means. There is something in your business that at some point you will have to do that you will not love. And you are capable of getting through it and figuring out a way to make it work for you. So am I. I will figure this out. I may not be able to stay for a 10-hour event. I may only be able to go for 2 or 3 hours each time because that's all I can handle. It's all I can do. I just cannot be on for that long. And so there are things you may have to do for your business if you want to actually be successful and have the business you want. But there are also ways to get around those things. So yes, I am very gifted at tech. I'm very gifted at looking at things and innovating and finding a new way to do something and connecting dots that other people don't see that to me just feels so normal and obvious. And I will always be good at those things. I'm just gifted there. I will probably never be as comfortable in a room full of people as some of you. But I can learn to not want to die afterwards, and I can learn my limits so that I can still use those same strategies and tools to reach the people that I want to help. And so I want to encourage you today to think about if you've ever come across this yourself. And if you have, I would love to know. You can message me privately if you don't want to share with everybody else. I don't know when I'll respond. I'm very busy right now. You can post it here on this video or in the group. But has this ever happened to you? Not necessarily the same thing as me. I know some of you talk about social media this way. You sound like social media is like the bane of your existence. And so what is that thing? And then in addition to what is that thing for you, what are some ways that you can adapt? Thank you, Regine, that's the perfect word. What are some ways that you can adapt to still use that thing, whatever it is, that you need for your business without wanting to die? Okay? So, examples. Part of what I'm doing, I can probably hand off to someone else. If I can find someone for my team that is not, that glows, that lights up when they do these things, because there are people like that, they could help with some of that, and they could do some of that for me. So that's an option. So maybe you can have someone help you. Hire someone, get help. You really don't like social media that much, or maybe you kind of suck at it, which you have to be willing to accept your strengths and weaknesses, right? So lean into your strengths and figure out what your weaknesses are. Sometimes your weaknesses you can overcome and sometimes you can't. Some of you are not very talented at making videos or social media. You can still make it happen, but it might be better for you to just hand it off to somebody else. Sometimes you have to figure out where your limits lie, which is something I'm going to be doing the next couple of weeks. So for those of you who keep messaging me, asking me if I'm okay, I am stressed right now. And apparently it is showing through in the things that I do. I am okay. I will survive. I will make it through. But the next couple of weeks, I will be pushing my limits to figure out where I can do this, how much of this I can do. So it might take a couple weeks for me to come through this on the other side. And that is okay. And it is okay for you also. You can do a bad job at something for a little while so that you can figure out how to do a good job at it. That is totally okay. Maybe you just don't do it for a while. And you just say, I'm not going to do that thing right now because I can't handle it. Maybe there's too many other things that you're doing and you can't handle it. Which, frankly, is why I haven't done this for the last 7 years. It's because it's just been too much and I couldn't handle it. So, I want you to think to yourself. If you want to share with me, that's great. If you don't, that's okay. What is the thing that does this to you? And what can you do to fix it, adjust for it, do whatever you want? Sometimes there might be something that you have to do, and you can find something to balance it out. So for me, you guys know I love being by the water. And so I came here today after dropping my daughter off, and I thought, man, today would be an excellent day to go kayaking. Like, that would just rejuvenate my spirit. That was the other thing I talked about last night. They were talking about how people tell them to get over being upset or depressed or having bad emotions. And they were like, people always say to go take a walk. That's so stupid. And I don't understand why they think that. And I was like, that is 100% what I do when I feel bad. I 100% go for a walk or go out of my kayak or something. I was like, I just don't relate to any of you people. What is wrong with you? But the point of that is, different people need different things. Find your thing, okay? I honestly don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. But if I am, I hope that you can join me. I hope that you guys have an amazing Thursday. I think that's what day it is. If you need anything, put it in the group. You can message me. I can't guarantee that I'll get back to you quickly. I have taken on a part-time job. I have taken on a new mastermind, and I am still running my business. So, and trying to do this new thing that I clearly suck at. So I am very busy right now. If you want my time, probably you're best served to come on these lives when I do them, or to join one of my memberships, because then you get time with me every month. Webinar is Wednesday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Love to see you there. It's free. After I get off this live, I'll put the link in the description. I think that's about it. If you guys need anything, ask each other, help each other. We are here for each other. You are not alone. So I'm going to go back to the whole point of this. Yesterday and today, I have to admit, I felt very alone. It's the only one in the room. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't even bring myself to get on camera. And I don't care about cameras, but I just didn't want to do it. I felt very alone. But I want to remind you, you are not alone. Okay? Go post in the group if you need someone to encourage you. Guys, if you see someone post that they need help, go tell them they're awesome and offer some advice. Or just tell them that you're there to listen. Don't let anyone feel alone. Because you're not. No matter how much you tell yourself you are, it's not true. So those of you who have been there for me and listened to me rant and everything, including those of you who watch this video, thank you very much. Hopefully I'll be able to get back to some slightly more positive things in the next few days. I love you guys to bits. I'm so glad we get to live our dreams together every single day, even when they're hard. And have a great rest of your day. Bye.